And happy Sabbath, everyone. Welcome to Word Redeux number 143. Howdy, Lynn. Howdy, Matt. Whoever else may show up, good on you. So, before we get started, this is going to be the format from now on. Anybody that wants to read, you need to notify me. That don't care who you are, with two exceptions. If you are someone with a proven record of causing discord among the brethren, then you're not welcome. And if you're here to push a certain doctrine or denominational belief, you're not welcome. Everyone else is welcome. Now, you know from years of doing this that the readings happen at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain, and 8 a.m. Pacific. If you want to read, you need to get a hold of me to get the link before the reading occurs. Got it? I think so. If not, refer back to the beginning of this. Okay, today we are continuing on in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 19 and 20. If you want to come out of Babylon, go to the c2kreport.com, sign up for the free classes, which start Monday, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe they start Monday, the next session. You can go to BibleStudyTools.com if you want to listen to Otto, which you will be today anyways. Go to BibleHub.com for multiple study tools, eSword.net for multiple study tools, BlueLetterBible.org, same thing, lots of study resources available, and KingJamesBibleOnline.org for those various things as well. Okay, let's go ahead and pray in, and then we will get rolling. Heavenly Father, thank you very much for giving us this time to come together so that we can fellowship and, well, just revel in being your children. We're very grateful to have that opportunity through your Son, our King and Savior. And we would ask for your coverage and protection over those that have been involved in auto incidents that may be facing potential scams. We would ask you to cover and protect them. And, also, too, everybody that's been dealing with the breathing issues for whatever's being put upon us. We would ask you to heal and recover those people as well. Please pour your spirit of knowledge and understanding out on everybody that's here now and in the future to get the message that they need from today's reading that you need them to have. And we just thank you for that. Let us be a blessing to you as we go forth. Thank you in Jesus Yeshua's name. Amen. All righty. So let's do that. And click that. Click this. Turn that back on. Click that. Oh my goodness, look at all this stuff. Go there, this, click that, come back to this. You know, if they add more steps, it makes the programming engineers earn their money. Okay, here we go. 2 Samuel 19.
2 Samuel 19. And it was told Joab, Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory that day was turned into mourning unto all the people, for the people heard say that day how the king was grieved for his son. And the people gat them by stealth that day into the city, as people being ashamed steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face. And the king cried with a loud voice, O my son Absalom! O Absalom, my son, my son! And Joab came into the house to the king and said, Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life and the lives of thy sons and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives and the lives of thy concubines, in that thou lovest thine enemies and hatest thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither princes nor servants. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived, and all we had died this day, then it had pleased thee well. Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably unto thy servants. For I swear by the Lord, if thou go not forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night. And that will be worse unto thee than all the evil that befell thee from thy youth until now. Then the king arose and sat in the gate. And they told unto all the people, saying, Behold, the king doth sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king, for Israel had fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines, and now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. And Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now therefore, why speak ye not a word of bringing the king back? And King David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar the priests, saying, Speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, Why are ye the last to bring the king back to his house, seeing the speech of all Israel is come to the king, even to his house? Ye are my brethren, ye are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are ye the last to bring back the king? And say ye to Amasa, Art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? God do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, Return thou and all thy servants. So the king returned, and came to Jordan, and Judah came to Gilgal, to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei the son of Gera, a Benjamite, which was of Bahurim, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons and his 20 servants with him. And they went over Jordan before the king. And there went over a ferry boat to carry over the king's household, and to do what he thought good. And Shimei the son of Gera fell down before the king as he was come over Jordan, and said unto the king, Let not my lord impute iniquity unto me, neither do thou remember that which thy servant did perversely the day that my lord the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart. For thy servant doth know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph, to go down to meet my lord the king. But Abishai the son of Zeruiah answered and said, Shall not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed the Lord's anointed? And David said, What have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall there any man be put to death this day in Israel? For do not I know that I am this day king over Israel? Therefore the king said unto Shimei, Thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes, from the day the king departed until the day he came again in peace. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, Wherefore wentest not thou with me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, My lord, O king, my servant deceived me. For thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon, and go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he hath slandered thy servant unto my lord the king. But my lord the king is as an angel of God. Do therefore what is good in thine eyes. For all of my father's house were but dead men before my lord the king. Yet didst thou set thy servant among them that did eat at thine own table? What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou any more of thy matters? I have said, Thou and Ziba divide the land. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Yea, let him take all, for as much as my lord the king is come again in peace unto his own house. and Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Rogelim, and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old, and he had provided the king of sustenance while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, How long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old, and can I discern between good and evil? Can thy servant taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? Thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king, and why should the king recompense it me with such a reward? Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in mine own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold thy servant, Chimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Chimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan. And when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai, and blessed him, and he returned unto his own place. Then the king went on to Gilgal, and Chimham went on with him. And all the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half the people of Israel. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king, and said unto the king, Why have our brethren the men of Judah stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, Because the king is near of kin to us, wherefore then be ye angry for this matter? Have we eaten at all of the king's cost, or hath he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah, and said, We have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king? And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. Second Samuel 20. And there happened to be there a man of Belial, whose name was Sheba, the son of Bichri, a Benjamite. And he blew a trumpet and said, We have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tents, O Israel. So every man of Israel went up from after David, and followed Sheba the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave unto their king, from Jordan even to Jerusalem. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them in ward, and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, Assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. And David said to Abishai, Now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thou thy lord's servants, and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. When they were at the great stone which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out. And Joab said to Amasa, Art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the 5th rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba the son of Bichri. And one of Joab's men stood by him, and said, He that favoreth Joab, and he that is for David, let him go after Joab. and Amasa wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. And when the man saw that all the people stood still, he removed Amasa out of the highway into the field, and cast a cloth upon him when he saw that every one that came by him stood still. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab, to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel, and to Beth-Machah, and all the Berites. And they were gathered together, and went also after him. And they came and besieged him in Abel of Beth-Machah. And they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench, and all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, hear, say, I pray you, unto Joab, Come near hither, that I may speak with thee. And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, Art thou Joab? And he answered, I am he. Then she said unto him, Hear the words of thine handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. Then she spake, saying, They were wont to speak in old times, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Abel. And so they ended the matter. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. Thou seekest to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why wilt thou swallow up the inheritance of the Lord? And Joab answered and said, far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so. But a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, hath lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba the son of Bichri, and cast it out to Joab. And he blew a trumpet, and they retired from the city, every man to his tent. And Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Now Joab was over all the host of Israel, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cherethites and over the Pelethites, and Adoram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud was recorder, and Sheva was scribe, and Zadok and Abiathar were priests, and Ira also the Jerite was a chief ruler about David.
Alrighty. Let's go back, shall we? And just to recap for those of you who came in late, this is going to be the format from now on. Everybody knows that's been here for years that the time is 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. If you want to read, you need to let me know before, enough before that you can get the link. The same goes for the other books as well. So there's that. Okay, so back to chapter 19. Okay. So if you remember what happened before, Joab killed Absalom and in vengeance, the avenger of King David, and hooked him up hard. And so then David's all whining and crying about the son that was going to kill him being killed. So this is what that rebuke that Joab is saying to the king. You know, and honestly, how many kings are going to put up with that? Right? Quit your whining, you baby highness. That I believe that perhaps not many are going to put up with that. But David realizes that he is being rebuked correctly, and he needs to quit being a crybaby. So he gets up and he's ready to go, right? He's ready to go back to Jerusalem, and we have this whole thing of him heading back and being received by Judah, the other tribes, the other 10 houses, the other 10 tribes received him, and Judah's like, well, I don't know, why do we want to receive you? Because, what does he say? You are my bones and my flesh. He doesn't say you are my flesh and blood. Right? What did Jesus, say after the resurrection? Right? Feel my bones and my flesh. Okay, so Judah receives him. He's going to go back to Jerusalem. And then we go through this whole thing where he is basically making peace with the people that were deceived by Absalom, right? So Absalom set up these people basically to a point where they could have been executed as co-conspirators. But yes, that is true. Whine about anything. Okay, so let's see here. He's working his way back now. I found this kind of interesting. After he makes peace with all these people that were part of this, well, that there's a bit of an argument at the end of 19 between the 10 tribes and Judah. And it's interesting the way it finishes out. And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. So we've already got this division between the two main houses, right? The two main houses that get broken into, the house of Ephraim and the house of Judah. And they keep doing this like separation and rebonding, separation and rebonding. So here they're rebonding, but there's still that tension, right? There's still that bit of tension. And, well, it is what it is. But I want to do a little research here. Particularly in verse 3, because he left his 10 concubines that behind to take care of the house. And it does list them as concubines. And then Absalom, if you remember, Absalom put up a tent on the roof and gave all of the surrounding area a show of himself dominating his father, King David's house. But it says they lived, they were shut up, they were sealed, these concubines, until the day of their death, living in widowhood. From the Hebrew word 491, almanuth, widow or widowhood. Now, why would they be that? Weren't they David's before? It implies that once they were taken, once Absalom took them, laid with them, once he was with them, that they became his. So now that Absalom's dead, they get locked up. You're just widows now. Widows of mine enemy. Okay, so Sheba takes off. He's on the run, right? And he's pursuing Amasa and him. Joab is taken off after them. No assumption necessary, because we're told that he put up a tent and was doing the deed in front of everybody, where everybody could see it, up on the roof. So no assumption. Witnesses, right? Not 2 or 3 witnesses, but 2 or 3 neighborhoods of witnesses. Okay. So he's dust. And then Joab catches Amasa. Oh, hey, brother, how you doing? And then he guts him. Yeah, you should have been here maybe a couple of chapters ago when we discussed that. Anyways. So Joab guts Amasa, and then they're pursuing after Sheba. And Sheba goes and hides, right, in this city. Where? What was the name of that city that he got caught up to? Let's see. Oh, I hate it when it skips like that. Oh, Beth Ma'akah. So Beth Ma'akah there, which I don't recall that being a city of refuge, because it's not. So Sheba thinks he's going to hide in there. And then here comes Joab with a whole bunch of people. And he's preparing to make some pain felt. And then this lady, the wise woman, we don't have her name here. She's like, hey dude, what's going on? You know, I'm peaceable, faithful in Israel. You seek to destroy a city and a mother in Israel? And so he says, all I want is this one guy. Okay, we're gonna throw his head out, and then you're gonna leave us alone. So can you imagine being a fly on the wall for that conversation? Hey, Sheba, come here. Come here. We just want to have a talk with you. They're threatening to kill all of us unless we kill you. So we're sending your head out. What? Yeah, it's going to be brutal. At least for Sheba. So, yep, cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and cast it out to Joab. And this stood out to me in verse 22. To Joab, and he, Joab, blew a trumpet, and they retired or retreated from the city. You know, everybody thinks that the trumpet is meaning attack, kill, maim, go forth and slay thine enemy. No, sometimes it means come out of her, my people. Speaking of which, of come out of her, my people, free classes, c2kreport.com. They should be starting Monday. Come out of her, my people. All right. So, oh man, you guys let me go to 20 without switching the banner? Shame. Oh, it's hard to follow when I don't read along. Okay. Let me see how it is. Okay, so then we got, now Joab is the 5-star general. He's over all the host of Israel. the host being the army. And then he has an assistant in Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, who is over the Kerethites and the Pelethites. Yep. And we got this stuff. This is basically the management of the kingdom of Israel at that time, right? So Adoram was over the tribute, so he's the treasurer. Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was the recorder, which is a recorder. You have Shiva, who was a scribe, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priests, meaning high priests. Now remember, at this point, too, we're going to have to get into Kings or Chronicles, I think Chronicles, before we get to the order of the priests being re-established. And then also Ira also, the Jairite, was a chief ruler about David. For those of you that don't understand that, that means he was basically his right-hand man. For civil affairs, Joab is handling the army and might. All right. Anybody else got anything for 2 Samuel 20 in the chat? Who's putting it up? Okay, personal assistant, if you want that. Do you mean like Jared Kushner? Okay, maybe not. Life coach, maybe? No, I think David uses Yah as his life coach. That David is interesting. He's an example for us, right? A type. He does awesome when he seeks out Yah's counsel, and then he turns back to his flesh side and says, "Ooh, look what I can do," and gets in a lot of trouble with his father, Yah, just as we do. It's best to observe it in him and realize that we do it the same way. Okay, nothing else there? Fine, we'll shut the banner off. I guess I'm not getting echoes because nobody's complaining, huh? But we'll still turn that back on and that back on. That way they're back on. All right. So, everybody, that's pretty much it for this week. Don't forget, if you want to read, you need to message me. That's just the way it is. And other than that, thanks everybody for coming, hanging out. It is that wonderful day of rest. All right, GR, I hope you have a good visit. And don't forget, classes Monday. You know, the thing is, you don't have to go through the process if you don't feel like it. But if you take the classes, at least you know what people are talking about. And don't be willfully ignorant. That's the thing. Okay, everybody, I think that's it. I'm going to go take a nap. Love you all.